Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Reese, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how you can install plugins using Aseprite. A few examples that I use are the Isometric Box Generator, the Color Shading plugin, and the Isometric Guidelines plugin. There is a wide range of plugins available for Aseprite, but as I'm focusing on isometric art right now, these are the main ones that I'm using. And for reference, I am using Aseprite 1.3.9.1, but this tutorial should apply to all versions of Aseprite. So before I dive into the video, I just wanted to discuss this video's overview. Firstly, I'm going to be discussing the prerequisites, essentially the things that you'll need to install and think about before getting started with this project. Secondly, where you can actually download these plugins. And thirdly, how you can go about installing them using Aseprite. So, to begin with, we're going to need to download a file archive software. This is because the downloads for plugins usually come in a zipped or archived format. This is just so that the files are smaller and the download speeds can be faster. A great example that I would recommend is called 7-zip. So if you go ahead and just search 7-zip into the search bar, it should be the first link. And then upon opening it, you should be brought to this page. Now before you click download on any of these links, it's important to know which version of Windows you're running. To do this, we're going to go down to the bottom left, and we're going to right click and then click Settings. Go to System, scroll down to the About tab, and right here it should show you the system type that you're running. So in my case, it's a 64-bit system. Therefore, I know I need to download the 64-bit version of 7-zip. You can go ahead and click the correct link for you, and the download should begin automatically. Once it's downloaded, all you need to do is click on the downloaded file, and it should be an exe. And this will run the setup for 7-zip. Click install, and it's done. So, the next step is knowing where you can actually browse and download plugins for Aseprite. A very popular platform for sharing these is called itch.io. So once you're on this website, all you need to do is head to the search bar at the top, search Aseprite, and then activate the filter for game assets. And then here we can see we have a long list of many plugins and different kind of things that we can use with Aseprite. For the sake of this video, I'm going to be using the examples that I've been listing in my descriptions. So if you head to the description of one of my pixel art videos, I've listed a couple of the links for the plugins that I use. So for example, the color shading plugin, if you click that link, it will take you to the community Aseprite page. Now this isn't directly on itch.io. However, if you were to search for it, you could find it on there as advertised. But the download link is actually shared via GitHub. So this is where things can look a little bit more complicated, but it really isn't. So all we actually need for the plugin is called a Lua file. I'm not sure if that's the proper pronunciation, but that's simply what I call them. But what we're looking for is a file extension .lua. So in this case, it is the only file there, so they've made it very easy for us. But in other cases, you may need to take a look through the folders and the hierarchy in order to actually find the Lua file. But since it's right here and it's currently active, we can just go over here and download the raw file. Again, this should start automatically and it won't take very long at all. Once you've downloaded it, you can go ahead and click this little Show in Folder button if you're on Chrome. And here it is. So this is actually all we need for this plugin. We just now need to figure out where we can put it. For other plugins, it might not be this simple. You may get a archive of which you'd need to open and extract. But in this case, it is simply the one file and it's ready to go. So to show you an example of what it will look like when you're trying to download a plugin but you get an archived file, I'm going to use this isometric box generator as an example. So if you follow that link in my description, you should be brought to this page. And this is Darkwatch's itch.io page, and this is actually the developer of this plugin. And you'll see a blue Download Now button. This is on a pay what you can or pay what you want basis. So if you do have the money spare, it's always nice to support the developer with a small donation. However, if you can't, it's okay to click no thanks, just take me to the downloads. Upon clicking that, you should be taken to this page, and then you just need to click this red download button here and the download should start automatically. And then again, if we click the Show in Folder button, here's the downloaded file. So you'll notice that this one doesn't look the same as the previous download, and that's because this is a zip file. Now yours may have a different symbol here. This looks like this because I have a program called WinRAR installed. But by double clicking it, you should be brought to this page. And so this is actually essentially what's inside of this file. And here we can see these are the Lua files that we're looking for. So what we're going to want to do is click on the isometric box.lua. You can do the same for the light version, but I've tried both and this is the original version that we're after. So once we have that highlighted, we just click Extract to, and the default options should be fine for you. So here it's selected the downloads folder where it is, so it will just be right next to it. Click OK. And here we have a folder. And upon opening it, we have the Lua file. So we can go ahead and just drag this into the downloads as well. And then we can go ahead and actually delete this folder. But now we have, similarly to the color shading plugin, we have the Lua file for the isometric box generator plugin. So all the archives are zipped for folders, and all we need to do is use 7-zip or WinRAR or whichever archive file software you have. Use that to open it and then extract what we actually need. So we can go ahead and delete this as well now. So it's a little bit more convoluted, but once you know what you're looking for, it's fairly easy. Okay, so now that we have got our file archive software installed, we know how to browse itch.io for plugins, and we know how to download them and get the correct files. Now we just need to figure out where we actually put these files in order to install them. Now this is actually very easy. All you need to do is open up Aseprite. You can do this on the Home tab or on an active active project. It doesn't really matter. And then you'll go to the top left and go to Scripts, and then click Open Scripts folder. And as you can see, it's really as simple as just dragging the Lua files into this folder, and then you may need to restart Aseprite, but it will read them and it will know exactly what they are. We have the free Lua files for the plugins that I've referenced. So this list here is the same list here. And then it's as simple as toggling them on and off from here. So that's pretty much it for this video. It's a little bit longer than I wanted, but I hope that I explained everything in a way that makes sense to everyone. That's all there really is to it with the plugins. I just want to say a big thanks to all the developers out there that are working on making these plugins. It really is a big help to people like me. And as much as I would love to support financially, it just isn't very feasible for me right now. So I hope that you can gain some benefit from me creating these videos and featuring your work in them. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.